When did you realize you're dating an idiot? 1990. We live in central Alabama. She told me that her and her best friend were going to Birmingham for the weekend. Didn't think anything of it. There's lots of shopping and things to do in Birmingham. Came over Sunday night to tell me how disappointed she was in the trip. They had driven through all the wealthier neighborhoods in Birmingham, Alabama for 2 days, trying to find a house that matched the gates to Ozzy Osbourne's house, and never found it. He lived in Birmingham, England. What the fuck? Okay, look, I'm gonna say this. That is a misunderstanding, definitely. But that's something I would do. Stacking cups in the dishwasher. Oof. Wait, this one is perfect. So many others might be a communication issue, or weaponized incompetence, or cultural difference. But this one just screams, my body is the emotion, but my brain is off. Yeah. I mean, to be fair, when you are tired, stuff like that does end up happening. So maybe excuse them. You might realize that I am advocating for them a lot more, like, it happens, because I am one of them, okay? I am one of those people. She walked into a computer lab on campus and simply picked up a computer and walked home with it. Is this where okay, let's see. She was living with me at the time, so I get home to find a very familiar looking computer sitting on the kitchen table. She literally thought that the computers were free for students. It took a bit of explaining to convince her that she stole the computer. I made her return the computer to the lab that night. She left it at the doorstep. Oh my god. Maybe she's just a kleptomaniac or something, Well, at least I hope that she's not, but maybe she is. Maybe she didn't mean to actually steal it, but why would the computer be free? Like, and when you say computer, do you mean like a laptop, or do you mean like a whole ass, like a computer, like a desktop? But I'm gonna make an assumption and say it's like a laptop. She didn't understand that you actually have to pay what you spent on the credit card, like the credit amount, and she was supposed to pay her monthly limit. Just resets each month. Okay, look, I didn't understand some things like this too, so I empathize with these people. Okay, I was never as bad at these, but when I was younger, I was always like, my mom and dad would tell me, oh, this person took this money from someone else and to use it. Now, the way to use it, as in, like, to me, it was like, how do you use money without spending it? In my head, I never understood what that meant. So, obviously, me being me, I was like, you're gonna be like, show them a fat stack of cash, like, yo, I have the money, look at this, and then I'm gonna return it, because they would be like, you use that money and then you give it back. So I never understood what that meant until obviously a little bit later. I was like maybe 9 or 10 when I actually started to actually understand what that meant. Because I always thought that what you just like showing them like a big stack of money to them is like, oh yeah, I have the money. Don't worry about it. I got the money. My friend did that when he was 19. Thought it was basically free money, bought so much weed and food, and to be fair, that he was very generous. And then the first credit card bill came in. Ouch. Ugh. Yeah, I feel like when you're giving out a credit card, I think you should at least make sure that the person knows what a credit card is, like what a person is doing with a credit card. Like, they should know what a credit card actually is doing and know like what the procedure is. After her third quote-unquote business opportunity turned out to be another person's pyramid scheme. We didn't date long, but we knew each other for a while before that. I liked her for her work hard and get bait attitude. Turns out that the hard work she was doing was costing her way more than she made and didn't realize it. Yeah, it's kind of sad, but it is kind of on the person too. Because a lot of times you want to be optimistic and be like, this person's trying to do something for my good. And that's how these pyramid schemes are often advertised. But, it is what it is. Where they grew spaghetti. Italy, obviously. That's a good one. The night I said that I thought I smelled gas, and they grabbed the lighter and struck it without No way. That's no. No way. That's not real. That's no. Nope. I would find it extremely hard to believe. When I asked her to hand me a kitchen knife and she threw it at me, and that's not even the stupidest part. When I tried to explain the basics of handing someone a knife or a pair of scissors, she refused to accept that what she did was wrong or unsafe. It was suddenly apparent that she couldn't possibly ever admit to being wrong. It was an underhand throw. Yeah, that's true, and I can understand how that person can think that it's fine, but it still is a dangerous thing. The idea with safety and stuff like that is always you are in the realm of safety no matter what. Like, you're not doing something like if you want to hand a knife to someone, you hand it, like, you directly give it with direct contact. Don't throw it, you don't chuck it at them, because anything can happen. You don't know what can happen. You can throw it in a certain way that can hurt the person. Maybe not kill them, but still can hurt them. So, you've got to be careful with these things. But some people, I think these people are neurodivergent, like me. So I can understand a lot of their woes, but I don't think I'm as neurodivergent as them. I am a bit on the low, I am a bit luckier than them, I guess, but still, I empathize. I work as a part-time chef. A new colleague once tried throwing a 7-inch knife into that sink. Oh my god, that is already stupid, but it was way worse because she didn't look and forgot that I was standing there. And she threw it right up my balls. Oof. Ouch. Oh, additionally, going back up one post, the knife throwing thing. When the part where the guy says, when I tried to explain the basics of handing someone a knife, a pair of scissors, she used to accept that what she said was wrong. She refused to accept that she was wrong. That part sometimes also comes from what I have seen, is a lot of times these neurodivergent people end up having parents who feel like these children need to be sheltered and they need to be treated with kindness and stuff like that, which they do. They do require a lot of attention, but it ends up sometimes becoming more than is necessary, and they end up depending on their parents. So that's something that I can understand. Your parents sort of didn't teach you that you can also be wrong. Everyone can be wrong. You have the possibility of being wrong, and you over shelter the kids. Sometimes you just cannot accept that you're wrong because you've never been taught that when you're a younger kid. That's why when you grow up, you need to learn all these things. Preheats the microwave. Oh my god. Yeah. Edit, lol. I knew you guys would appreciate this, but to be fair, there were other signs. She told me once about doggy. She told me once about doggy. People don't really do that. It's just for porn. So no. The sex wasn't good enough to stay. Oh my god. I'm sorry, brother, that you had to go through that. But I still do feel bad for that person. She refused to pay taxes, have a bank account, or pay for public transit. She told me I change my name every few years so they can't find me. Like, she'd go to the government and change her name. Okay, yeah. So the government couldn't find her. We broke up for other reasons, but this was the first red flag. Everyone knows that if you legally change your name, no one knows who you are anymore, right? Like, it's not like they're gonna record your original name or anything like that. Like, sometimes I feel like all of this does go into the whole idea of how you're brought up and what kind of child experiences you have as a child. And a lot of this does sound like the older you get and the more stubborn you get about these things, because you don't have those sort of fundamental concepts of being wrong sometimes, or sometimes you don't understand understanding the whole mechanic of something is versus actually getting something done. So for example, in this person's case, this person doesn't understand that the mechanic of changing your name legally doesn't mean that the government cannot know who she is. The government knows who she is, obviously. She's changing her name legally. And it's a lot to do, from what I can understand and tell, from the upbringing of the children. It is definitely on the parents, but sometimes it's also just neurodivergence, and it's a lot of factors that can go into it. You can have neurodivergent parents, you can have a lot of stuff that can happen to you that can cause things like these. But as silly and funny it is, as some of it I have also suffered with some of this stuff like that. And yeah, I thought it was a pretty funny question on Reddit, so I thought I'd go through it. So yeah, thanks a lot for watching. Peace, like, comment, and subscribe.